Hey, love, let's get one thing clear from the jump. You were never supposed to carry this much. Your shoulders, those stubborn, aching, overworked bridges between your heart and the rest of the world, weren't built to hold every crisis, every expectation, every I've got it, don't worry about me. And yet, if you're listening to this, I'm guessing those shoulders have spent years as the emotional pack mule for everyone else's needs. Maybe you learned early that you had to keep the peace to be loved. That love meant carrying what no one else would. Responsibility, emotions, the unspoken job of holding your family, your friends, your relationships together no matter what it cost your body. Maybe you got the message loud and clear that being needed was safer than being left. Here's the truth. The tension in your shoulders isn't just about your desk setup or how you slept last night. It's your body's record keeping. Every time you swallowed your own needs to keep someone else okay, your shoulders logged it. Every time you wanted to collapse but forced yourself to hold it together, those muscles tightened, just to help you survive. So before we go any further, let's agree. There is nothing broken about you. That tightness isn't a failure, it's your nervous system's way of protecting you when you had no other choice. This practice isn't about fixing you, and it's definitely not about striving for some picture-perfect healing moment. This is about setting down weights you were never meant to carry. Giving your shoulders, your body, the permission slip to rest, maybe for the first time ever. You don't owe anyone perfect posture. You don't owe anyone perfect healing. All you owe yourself right now is one honest breath. And maybe, just maybe, a chance to let your body remember what it feels like to only hold you. Let's get nerdy for a second. When we talk about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's not just a cute metaphor. It's body science, trauma history, and emotional math, all tangled up in the same few inches of muscle and connective tissue. Your shoulders are prime real estate for emotional labor. Why? Because this is where your body braces itself to be enough. Whether that's enough support, enough strength, enough of a buffer between you and disappointment or abandonment. When you learned that being lovable meant being indispensable, your body translated that into tension, right here, between your neck and your arms. Think back for a moment. When was the first time you noticed your shoulders tightening up? Was it in a classroom where you had to be the good kid? At home, where you learned to listen for changes in someone's voice to avoid their anger or sadness. Maybe you felt responsible for someone else's happiness, or for keeping the peace, or for holding your own feelings so tightly they never slipped out. Every single one of those moments leaves a mark, and not just in your memory, but in the very fascia, muscle, and nerves of your upper body. Here's a gentle invitation. Place a hand on your shoulder, or just tune into the sensation there. Ask yourself, what lives here? What emotions are tucked into these knots? Fear, vigilance, resentment, exhaustion? There's no wrong answer, only curiosity. If your shoulders could talk, what are they still bracing for? What would they say about the jobs they've been forced to do, the things they've had to hold together, the people they've tried to keep from falling apart? What's the story, written in muscle, that never got to be spoken out loud? Let's stay with that question for a breath or two. There's no rush. This is just about noticing, not judging. You're mapping the emotional geography of your own body and turning those familiar aches into a kind of language. When you're ready, we'll move together into gentle movement. For now, just notice what's alive in your shoulders and remind yourself, none of this tension is random. It's history. It's loyalty. And it's ready to be witnessed. All right, love, you don't need fancy yoga pants, a candlelit room, or any particular kind of flexibility for this next part. We're not here to perform, we're here to feel. And if all you do is imagine the movement in your mind, that's perfectly valid. This is about permission, not perfection. Start by just noticing your breath. No need to change it. Just become aware of the air moving in and out and how your body responds. Notice if your shoulders creep up toward your ears or slump forward. Notice if they want to stay locked in place or if they're already whispering for a little more space. When you're ready, try this with me. Let's start with a shoulder roll. Inhale, and as you exhale, gently roll your shoulders up toward your ears, then sweep them back and down like you're drawing a big, slow circle. No rush. Just let your breath guide the pace. Try 1 or 2 rolls in each direction. If you feel any pain or resistance, pause. There's no need to force it. Next, give yourself a big hug. Wrap your arms around your chest, giving yourself a soft squeeze. Maybe even rock gently from side to side. Feel the way your back and shoulders round, the way your own arms can hold you for a change. Take a slow breath here and let your body settle a little deeper into the hug. Now, let's do a gentle arm shake. Release your arms, and if it feels right, let them hang at your sides. Gently shake out your hands, your forearms, your upper arms like you're flicking water off your fingers. If your shoulders want to join in, let them bounce a bit, loosening whatever tightness they're ready to let go. If moving feels like too much right now, that's not a failure. Just rest your hands on your shoulders, your heart, or anywhere that feels comforting. Sometimes stillness is the movement. Sometimes the bravest thing your body can do is not brace, just for a moment. Throughout this, keep checking in. Does your body want more? Less? Something different? There's no right way here. There's only the way that honors what your body needs right now. And if at any point you want to stop, pause, or just breathe, that's exactly what you should do. You're in charge. When you're ready, we'll move into a gentle dialogue with the parts of you that refuse to let others down. But for now, honor whatever shift, sensation, or emotion has shown up. Even the smallest movement is a revolution for a body that's used to holding it all. Let's get a little curious with the part of you that's always been on duty. The one who refuses to let anyone down, who picks up the slack, who would rather dislocate a shoulder than drop a single ball. If you're up for it, close your eyes or let your gaze soften. Bring a hand to your shoulder to the spot that feels the most familiar, the most guarded, or maybe just the most tired. Let your hand rest there, like you're placing a gentle bookmark on a story that's still being written. Now, imagine you could have a conversation with this part of yourself. You don't have to get it right. Just notice what comes up. Maybe it's an image, a word, a sensation, or even just silence. That's all welcome here. Try asking inwardly or out loud, "Hey, part of me that carries it all. What are you afraid would happen if you stopped?" Maybe you hear, "People would leave," or "Everything would fall apart," or maybe just, "I don't know who I'd be if I wasn't needed." Let this part answer in its own time, in its own way. No judgment, no rush. Next, see if you can offer a little gratitude. Thank you for everything you've done to protect me, to keep things running, to keep me connected. Even if you're exhausted, even if you're a little annoyed at this part, see if you can honor how hard it's worked. Now, gently offer a new possibility. You don't have to hold it all the time. It's safe to rest, even just for this moment. The world won't fall apart if you take a breath. If this part resists, that's okay. It's been a lifetime believing it's the only thing standing between you and abandonment. Change is scary. But the invitation is here. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for someone else, maybe your present self, maybe your community, maybe the earth itself, to hold you for a change. Notice what you feel in your shoulders right now. Maybe a shift, maybe some tears, maybe just more awareness. All of it is valid. You're not kicking this part out. You're giving it the vacation it never thought it was allowed to take. When you're ready, we'll practice actually setting some of those burdens down. But for now, linger as long as you need in this gentle internal conversation. This is what trust building looks like. All right, love, you've made it this far. Pausing, moving, checking in with your fiercest, most protective parts. Now comes the part most of us never learned, actually setting some of those burdens down. If you want, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Imagine, just for a moment, that all the emotional weight you've carried, other people's moods, expectations, disappointments, the pressure to keep everyone else okay, has been bundled into something you can see. Maybe it's a backpack, a pile of bricks, a stack of paperwork, or an old suitcase you've been dragging behind you for years. Picture yourself holding this weight in your hands or feeling it on your shoulders. Notice how heavy it is, how long you've carried it, how automatic it's become. Now, with as much tenderness as you can muster, imagine setting it down. Not throwing it away, not burning it, unless that feels satisfying, in which case go for it. But just gently placing it on the ground, unloading, even for a breath. As you do, say to yourself, out loud or in your mind, I set down what was never mine to carry. Or, if you want to get specific, I release the responsibility for other people's feelings. I let go of the weight of needing to be needed. I am allowed to rest. Notice what comes up. Is it relief, resistance, grief, maybe even laughter? Every reaction is welcome. If you feel ready, gently roll your shoulders back and notice how it feels to stand, sit, or just be without that old weight. If it creeps back up, that's okay. This is a practice, not a one-time event. Permission isn't a magic spell. It's something you can return to again and again. Take one more breath and let it out with a sigh. Whether it's loud, soft, or messy, however your body wants. You are not here to hold what was never yours. You are allowed to put it down, even if it's just for today. When you're ready, we'll talk about what to do when big feelings show up after a release like this. For now, savor the moment, no matter how fleeting, of being a little bit lighter. Sometimes, when you finally set down the burdens you've been carrying, the emotions you've been holding at arm's length come rushing in. Maybe you feel a wave of sadness, anger, relief, or even guilt for not doing more. Maybe you just feel numb. Whatever shows up, it makes sense. You're untangling decades of survival, and your nervous system needs time to catch up. First, let's normalize it. Big feelings mean you're doing the work. They're a sign that your body is thawing out from all that protective bracing. It's not a setback, it's progress, even if it feels messy. If you find yourself overwhelmed, try these nervous system-friendly tools. Self-compassionate touch. Place a hand wherever you feel the strongest sensation, your shoulder, your chest, your belly. Breathe into that space with the reminder, this response was protective, not broken. Orient to the present. Gently look around your space. Name 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Remind your system. I'm here, I'm safe, it's today's date, I'm this age. Slow exhale. Inhale gently through your nose and exhale longer than your inhale. Let your out-breath carry some of that leftover tension out of your body. Ritualize the release. If emotions feel stuck or especially intense, try wrapping up in a blanket, taking a warm shower, scribbling out a few words in a journal, or even sending yourself a little thank you text for showing up today. And if you need to pause, shake it out, or come back later, that's not quitting, it's wisdom. This is a practice of consent with your own nervous system, not a race to the finish. Above all, remind yourself, healing is not linear. Sometimes you'll feel lighter, sometimes heavier. Every single feeling is data, not a diagnosis. You're not alone in this work, even when it feels lonely. Every sigh, every release, every messy moment is another page in your body's new story. When you're ready, we'll close with a final affirmation, claiming your right to rest, to softness, and to a body that belongs to you. Take a moment, love. You've just done something most people never even realize is possible. You gave your shoulders and your entire nervous system a taste of what it feels like to rest. Not because you've earned it, not because you finally fixed yourself, simply because you exist, and existing is enough. Here's what I want you to remember. Now and every time you feel that old, familiar weight creeping back up, you were never meant to hold the world together alone. Your shoulders are allowed to soften. Your body is allowed to let go. You get to decide what you carry and for whom, and you get to choose every single day to let some of it go. Every time you pause, breathe, or offer yourself one scrap of tenderness, you're chipping away at a lifetime of conditioning that says you have to earn your right to rest. That's rebellion. That's reclamation. That's radical self-love in action. So here's your final invitation. As you move back into your day, let your shoulders remember what it feels like to just hold you. Check in with them. Thank them for their loyalty, but remind them they don't have to brace anymore. Not for love, not for survival, not for anyone else's comfort. And if you need more science-backed, shame-busting, trauma-informed support for your rebel heart and tired body, subscribe to the Untamed Ember podcast for more, wherever you get your podcasts. You don't have to carry it all. You never did. Let's remember that, together.